Hi friends, welcome to all. Today we will learn what is Linux operating system.
So what is a Linux? Linux is an open source operating system. So what does mean by open source here? So open source means open source referred to as open source software. Open source software is a code that is designed to publicly accessible. Anyone can see and modify and distribute the code as they can see fit it. Okay, so right now Linux is using a open source kernel. So kernel is a open source, so anyone can modify the code. And if someone is good in C and C programming language, so they can modify the kernel. So actually Linux is using a kernel. So what is OS? OS is manage the system's hardwares and resources like your CPU, RAM, storage, your NIC card, etc. Okay, so what does mean by open source? Others meanings like it is operating system is a independent of any platform software. So what does mean by platform software? So for example, we can install a Linux operating system on a, like I have given a series name here, like a Dell Power as 720, 710 or 720. These are the hardware. We can install operating system here, or either this is HP chassis, or either we can install on a cloud or our laptop, or either might be we can install a operating system on a hypervisor. So what does mean by hypervisor? Hypervisor is a firmware or software that create and runs virtual machines. So there are mainly two types of hypervisor. Type 1 and type 2. So type 1, here comes like your gen hardware hypervisor. ESXi host, we can install a ESXi host, host 5.0 or 5.5 or 6.0 on a operating system, and then we can install a multiple VMs there. And KVM is kernel based virtual machine. It is a Linux. It is a Linux hypervisor. It is a Linux hypervisor. Okay, Linux KVM is a Linux kernel based virtual machines. And type 2 hypervisor is like our VMware workstation. So right now I am using a VMware workstation on the top of Windows operating system. I have installed a multiple operating systems, so it kind of a hypervisor. So hypervisor means where we can create a multiple virtual machines, machine that known as a hypervisor. Okay, so so let us discuss about how the operating system is make. Okay, so let's take example of Android operating system. So here Android is a doing a customization with a kernel here. So who is doing a here it is, Linux kernel is a open source, right? So Linux operating system, Linux OS uh, is is using Linux kernel. We called a Linux kernel, and it is open source. Open source. So open source means we can modify the code. So here now here now here Google is doing the customization here. Okay, so Google is doing the customization, and it is using GNU tools and library plus management scripts and installation scripts, and using a package extension that called a .apk. So let's, for example, let me show you here some snapshot here. So here now I have taken some screenshot for my mobiles. So let me show you here. here. Now I'm showing you here. Now you will see here, it is using a kernel version here. Okay, Android is using a here. So they are using a Linux kernel. Okay, Linux kernel. Linux kernel. So 4.14.113. So for kernel, where is using right now? It is using on right now currently CentOS 8 or RHEL 8. Okay, RHEL 8. Okay, so let me show you the code in same codes here. I'm on a Linux box. So here let me show you the host name, CTL, and status. Okay, so here let me show you. So now you can see here I'm using a operating system CentOS here, and here you will see the kernel version. Okay, you can see here Linux 4.18 here, and let me do one more command, uname -a. So now you can see here Linux means I'm using a Linux kernel, and it is a host name, and here is a kernel version. Okay, kernel version here, it's the architecture version, ARCH architecture version 64-bit. I'm using a 64-bit here, x86_64, and here it is a kernel version. So I have installed a here terminal emulator in my mobile. So here I can show you the same screenshot. So here core utils binary is core utils binary is installed by default in your Android operating system. Here you will see Linux. So see, it is a Linux, and it is your host name, and this is your kernel version. Okay, so Linux and localhost means it is your host name or your mobile's host name. So by default, every operating system, either you are using a Windows or Linux, by default it comes a local host, and it is our Linux kernel version. So these are the screenshots. So here Android operating system, what they did, they customize the Linux kernel. They are developing their GNU tools, means adding, removing, and adding their functionality here, and libraries, and management scripts and installation scripts, and they have given their package name extension is .apk. Similar, CentOS is also doing changing in their kernels, and they are developing their binaries and GNU tools and management scripts according to their operating system, and their package name called a .rpm. Same for Red Hat is doing, and the package extension is here Red Hat Package Manager. So RPM stands for Red Hat Package Manager. Red Hat Package Manager. Okay, Red Hat Package Manager. So okay, so here Ubuntu is also doing the same things, but here the package extension is a Debian. Okay, so that they are using a .deb extension. So similar, it is a in Windows we called a .exe. In Windows we called a .exe. Okay, so and Oracle Enterprise Linux, OEL means Oracle Enterprise Linux. Okay, and here it is also doing a customization with a kernel, and they are developing their GNU tools and library, management script, installation script, package extension. They are using a .rpm. So now if we are discussing about a Red Hat and CentOS, both are same. So what is the difference between CentOS operating system and Red Hat? Red Hat is providing enterprise service. Enterprise means paid service they are providing. Okay, so if you have any issue related to your operating system, you can reach your Red Hat. Even if you want to install Red Hat image, so you should have a credential, you should have a subscription about a Red Hat. I think 1 month they are giving a free subscription for a 1 month only. So but both are same. If you are doing a practice on a CentOS or Red Hat, both are same. So the leader is right now in a industry's leader is a Red Hat. Mostly Red Hat is using on a server, and now Ubuntu is also growing. So Ubuntu is also growing and it is capturing the market right now, but mostly Ubuntu is famous only desktop. So desktop or small scale company, they are using it because it is a free of cost. There is no licensing cost they are not giving, same as like CentOS also. So yes, Ubuntu people, and they are giving a good GUI. So who is like very good GUI, graphical user interface, they need a, so I would suggest for Ubuntu. Okay, but for OS perspective, I would suggest these two operating systems. Okay, CentOS or Red Hat. Okay, so what Ubuntu is also a good leader now, it's growing. And Oracle Enterprise Linux, where is it is using mostly Oracle product, Oracle database, DB, and because they did a fine tuning their kernel according to their application, DB application and apps. So they are apps, though they suggested always on Oracle Enterprise Linux only. Or either you know Oracle Virtual Manager. It is like a VMware Oracle Virtual, that we called a OBS, Oracle Virtual Server. So it is like same as like ESXi host, EXSI host. It is same similar on a VMware. Okay, so here we called a OBS, and we are accessing OBS through a web browser, that called a Oracle Virtual Manager. So we can access and we can create a virtual machines there. Okay, so let us discuss about a kernel history. Actually, let's come for the Unix kernel first. Unix kernel is written in a completely C and C++ language, and it is not an open source. Okay, it's not an open source. So for example, AIX is a operating system. So these are the version 5.3, 6.1, 7.1, 8.2, 8.12 is the latest version. And it is not an open source, means we can install on a specific IBM hardware series, specific, not for everyone. Suppose we have a IBM laptop, so we can't install on a laptop, only specific hardware series. And HP Unix is the second example. Now 11.4 is the latest operating system version, and we can install only specific HP hardware. And who is supporting HP Unix? HP vendor. And here who is supporting for AIX? AIX company. Okay, sorry, IBM company. Okay, who is supporting for AIX? IBM vendor. Okay, so it was copied by a Linus Torvalds, and they created a Linux kernel. Linux kernel is also using a C and C++ code plus other languages also. Okay, plus other. So let us go for a learning about a Linux kernel. So we'll try to understand Linux kernel. Okay, so okay, let's go for understanding about a Linux kernel. So let me create here a let me draw a pictures here. Okay, so here it is a user end, and it is a here. Okay, it is, sorry, let me create here a shell. Okay, so we are a user end, so let me create a shell here. Okay, so shell. Okay, so user, who is a user? We are a user, and we are trying to communicate. Okay, so we are a user, and let us suppose let us suppose here I'm creating a sessions here. 10.10 it is our servers, and let me create a session here. I'm a user. So it is creating a session that called a Pseudo terminal session. So the location is in a server Pseudo terminal session, and it comes like a earlier here, suppose it is a 0, so now it came on a 1, and after that it is giving us a bash prompt. Okay, shell, it is giving us a shell prompt. Okay, so same things here. So end user, so shell, it's giving us a shell prompt here. Now we are getting it is a shell prompt here. Okay, so let's come on the diagram page. Okay, so now we are a end user, and we are trying to make a connection. And okay, we have tried to make a connection here that that called a, let us suppose we have created a Pseudo terminal. So that is a location is Pseudo terminal session, and let us suppose 0 we have here. So after that we got a shell. So what is a shell? So shell is working as interpreter between user and kernel. Okay, interpreter between user and kernel. Okay, so it's the same example. Now let us suppose I need to talk with the Spanish people. I don't know Spanish, so I need a now I know English language, so I need a interpreter between me and Spanish people, Spanish person, so then we can communicate. So when a user is giving us a command in a shell, how he is giving a shell here, how he is giving a commands here. So he is here, so end user give a, like, let us suppose it is giving a command here. So let me type here. Okay, so it is giving a command here, uname -a. So this command is influenced by a English language. So command is influenced by English syntax. Okay, English syntax. So okay, so after that it will communicate with, let me draw a one more here. So it is connecting with a kernel. So kernel is understanding only binary format. So binary format is 0 and 1. So we don't know binary format. Okay, so kernel will understand these things, 0 and 1. Okay, 0 and 1. So okay, so let us understand first shell. So shell is working as an interpreter between user and kernels. So types of shell, types of shell. So how you can check your shell? You can check your types of shell. So first let us discuss about a type, and I will let you know how to check the shell. So bash shell. Bash means warn again shell. Warn again shell, and where the shell is using mostly by default, the shell is using Linux distributions mostly. And let me discuss about a second shell, KSL. KSL means corn shell. Corn shell. Okay, so where is mostly corn shell is using mostly AIX operating systems. Third is CVE. shell, which is mostly using C cell mostly is using a C shell. We call a C cell, and C cell is where is it using mostly in Solaris operating system. Okay, and 4 shell is SH. It is a Legacy cell. Okay, Legacy cell. Now the upgraded version is a Bond cell, Legacy cell, Legacy bash shell. Okay. Okay, so it is a Legacy cell, and now the new shell is a bash shell. Okay, so how we can check your which shell you are using? You can use a echo dollar shell. Okay, so dollars, what does mean by dollar? So here you are calling for a variable. Dollar means variable. Okay, so a dollar means I'm calling a environment variables. So these are OS defined variables. Okay, these are OS defined variable. Okay, so we can check shell there, OS defined variable. Okay, so let me clear. Okay. Okay, so echo dollar shell, you can check your current shell version. So let's go for a here. Let me go for a terminal, and here you can check your terminal. Now we are using a Presido terminal sessions. So it is so here we are checking here. So and it is a 1. If you are checking here TTY, we are 0. Now it is a 1. We have opened 2 terminal sessions. Okay, so now let us check your shell version. Okay, dollar shell. Okay, so I'm calling a variable. So right now here we are using a bash shell here. Okay, so bash shell is communicating with your here kernel. Okay, so it is communicating with your kernel that called a system calls. So when it is creating a session with here, we called a system calls. System calls. Okay, system calls, we called a system calls, and these system calls are different. Suppose let us suppose if it is a creating a process, if it is creating a process in a Linux, creating a process, we called we called as fork. Okay, so fork means it's creating a process. If suppose if it is a exit a process, okay, is it's exit a process, so called exit. Okay, called exit. And suppose it is a waiting for a process, waiting a process, so called wait. Okay, so these are the Unix. Okay, the system calls, so we called a system call. So these are the system calls. So I think I have used this one. And okay, so clear my, let me write. Okay, no problem. So okay, so let me write it again here. And okay, so creating a process, creating a process called fork. Okay, so you know in Windows what we called, if it is a creating, so we called a create process in Windows. If I'm differentiate with a Windows, if we differentiate a Windows, so in Windows we called a same things, we called a create process, create process. So we called a create process. Okay, we called a create process, and these are system calls. And creating and exit a process, exit any process, exit a process called exit. And in Windows, we called a exit process also. Okay, same things. And waiting for a process, waiting for process called wait system calls. Okay, so these are the system calls it is creating here. So now end user is created a session that called a Mosquitto terminal session. It goes the request a shell, and which shell we are using. So we know about right now we are using a, for example, we are using a bash shell. Okay, so in our system we are using a bash shell. On the top of you have used a command uname -a command, and it is communicated through a shell interpreter. Shell is working as an interpreter, and it's connected with it, created a one system call. Suppose it is creating a process we called a fork. So we have a if we are opening any files, then it called a open, and reading read write. So if you are, suppose if you are open a file, it is the system calls is open. If you read, so it is as a read write, so like that, etc. Okay, so same the etc. So it's, these are coming same things. If you are opening, so it is creating a system calls with the kernel, and kernel is understanding in a binary format. So kernel having a others work also. So let us discuss that also. So kernel is doing a process scheduling and inter-process communication. So inter-process communication between your server and client in a through a network we call a inter-process communication. And network memory, and it is doing a memory management. It is doing a mgmt. I'm typing in a short, and file system. Okay, and it is handling the device driver also. So let me make it here one. It is handling the device drivers or modules, device drivers, or these are kernel device drivers. Okay, kernel the device drivers or modules. Okay, so after that this request goes to your hardware. So let us come for the last one. So last layer is your hardware. So hardware is like your resources, like your CPU, RAM, your hard disk drive, your NIC card, etc. Okay, NIC card, etc. Okay, so okay, so okay, so there are many shells. So Jet shell is a one-off shell. Actually, it is a using the property of bash shell and a KSL, and here it is using a bash and a KSH and TSH shell actually. So it is also using some operating systems. So Jet shell. So okay, so this shell is also having a property of the bash, cas, and TCS shell. And let's come on the part here. So end user start a terminal here that we called a Mosquitto terminal session. After that, this request goes to your shell. You have type a uname -a command that is influenced by your English syntax. After that, it's generating a system calls with your kernel, and kernel is understanding binary format that is 0 and 1, and it's using these things. It's handling other things as well also, that called a process scheduling, inter-process communication, network, memory management, file management, etc. And it is kernel, device driver, or modules also, and these are the hardware, CPU, RAM, hard disk, NIC card, etc. So now your request goes to generic, and after that this request goes to your, let us suppose it is displaying on your monitor, so it will use your monitor hardware. Like that, your request has been completed in a Linux. Okay, so okay, so suppose if you are using a GUI, graphical user interface, so instead of everything is same is doing here also. Okay, so now these things replaced by a, now shell is replaced as a GUI, graphical user interface. Graphical user interface, now graphical user interface is here, so it is handling the same things. Now it's, now shell is working as an interpreter, like that, so same, it's also doing a same working. And okay, so here in GUI, so here in a GUI, you are using a, in here shell, others component also, some C standard library. So it is a user space. So we are using other things like, let's take example of your, let me use a here, your system components, like your daemons. So in a system, I'm typing a short components. Okay, so like your daemons. So what is a daemon? Daemon is kind of a process. Okay, kind of a process. Okay, like a systemd. So systemd is the first process in a operating system. CentOS 7, CentOS or RHEL 7, 8 onwards. Okay, it is a first process. The PID of PID means process ID. Process ID is a 0. Okay, sorry, process ID is 1. Okay, so process ID is 1. So earlier it was in earlier version, like your CentOS or your RHEL, or I can say your Oracle Enterprise Linux, it was init.d, sorry, initd process. Okay, it was initd process, and now the process is a systemd process is using. So okay, so initd process was, it is doing booting your process in a serial way, but now systemd is more enhanced, and it is up your booting process in a parallelly. Okay, so that was the reason. And developing is here in user components is others, like your system C standard libraries. So here C standard libraries also comes in so this is the user space we called a user space. Okay, this we called a user space. Okay, we called a user space, and here C standard libraries. So libraries that is like example glyphs. Okay, so glyphs. Okay, so that called a user space, and here another, here we called a kernel space, called a kernel space. Okay, so Linux is using monolithical kernel. Okay, Linux is using a monolithical kernel. So actually, why Linux is more faster? Why Linux monolithical? Why monolithical more faster? Why monolithical more faster than microkernel? Okay, so let us discuss about a, okay, so Linux is using a monolithical kernel, and why monolithical kernel is more faster than microkernel. The reason is because uh, reason is sir. Okay, so actually here user space plus kernel space are they are sharing same memory, are sharing same memory address, while in monolithical, sorry, in a microkernel, it is these space are different. These space are different memory location. Okay, so that was the reason it is more faster. Okay, if we are taking it as a layman example, if both the person are living in a same room, they can communicate more faster if both the person are communicating in two different rooms. So if they are trying to means talk with each other, so it will take some time. Okay, so now Linux is using a monolithic kernel and a microkernel. While in microkernel, here the user space are different memory location, and our Windows is using our Windows operating system. Windows OS is using hybrid kernel. And hybrid kernel, it is a mix of your both the kernel monolithic plus microkernel. Okay, microkernel. Okay, so what is the these are the what is the cons in a monolithic kernel? Suppose if there something goes bad in a suppose if something goes bad in a here user space or user space, suppose here, so what happened? So it will hang your operating system, your operating system. Okay, your operating system. Okay, what if something happened in a microkernel? So here it was nothing like to, it goes to hang or something. Okay, so but this is the cons in monolithic kernel, but it is a more faster than compared to microkernel. Okay, so please let me know if you have any doubts regarding this. Please let me know.